Hey guys, welcome back for a new video devlog about War Class, the game on which I'm working on. So once again, this is a JavaScript coded game with CSS and HTML. There is no engine, no libraries for the graphics. Okay, so what's new? Well, I think since the last time I've progressed a little bit on different things. First, regions, how regions are saved in the game, and then what I can do with that. So I'm going to show you now. For example, I'm going to enter Italy. So I'm going to select 3 adventures and confirm. All right, so here I am in the game. And the first thing that has changed since the last time is how our group looks. And you can see that it represents the number of adventures that we have and also kind of like their types. So once again, I've taken these sprites from other games from the internet, something like that. So yeah, it just and if you click here, you can like kind of like randomize again the way it looks. So our group now looks exactly the same as other groups in the game, right? And the second thing that you can see probably is that now you move cell by cell. And I think I want to change the game to that because I want actually the game to be more kind of like fast paced and more grid based. Yeah, it has always been grid based, but I want to be, where like you walk on a grid on with a certain tile or like a tree or something, and then there is a reaction to it. So yeah, I want it to be more grid based like this. Okay, so here we are in planes, and we can see that there is another group here. Let's have a look at it. Itinerant troop. So what do we have here? We have a Savoyan, we have a Narantine, an explorator, a musketeer, and a courtesan. And cultural variance is 2.67, which is not that high because we have only like French, like European, French, Balkan, Italian, French, and French. So the majority of this group here is French. So it lowers the cultural variance. But yeah, like let's move to the end of this region towards the border, like the eastern border of this region here. So you move east, and then here I'm in a different region. So I'm going to reveal what the map looks like. Wait, like this, okay? You can see, and then if I move back to west, well, we come back to where we were previously. And you can see that again. So basically, right, the maps in the game are saved as JSON files. So I'm going to show you here what a JSON data for a map looks like. So this is it, right? Here you have, like, for example, things that the data that defines a region, the climate, the cultures, if it's a desert or a forest or things like that, the super region in which it's part of, factions, continents, and then all the cells, like the data for each cell that is on the map here is actually contained in this object here, content. So for example, you can see that we have cells that are impassable. Maybe it's a crossroad, maybe it's not, maybe it's a road, maybe you have like a building or something like that. And basically it's a two-dimensional array, right? 50 by 50. Now, wait. Okay. So the good thing is that I can inject my own JSON data in this game in order to create specific and special locations. Because, like for example, this region here is randomly generated, kind of. It's a forest. And here, if I go back to the east, to the west, it's a plain. It's raining again. Yeah, but whatever. All right, so it's a plain here. Maybe I should mute the game. Yeah, okay. And yeah, so if I don't want a region to be randomly generated, for example, I go to the world map here where once again, each cell represents a region. And I can keep track of the index of the region, which represents the position of the region. So for example, right, I'm going to show you the example here of the Nile Delta, which is a region that I have customized. So its index is 66922. And if you look at my JSON data here, you see that I have a file that has the same index here in my map folder, 66922. If I click on it, you see that this is a region that I have manually made. And the name of the region is Nile Delta. So let's move to this region. All right. And here we are in the Nile Delta. And if I reveal the content of the region, you can see that I have been able to paint the way this region looks. So I can customize the content for regions if I want. And how I do this? Well, I use this tool here, the War Class Region Editor, that is not complete. It's not perfect. Of course, it's in development, but yeah, it's ongoing, right? So this region editor here allows me to basically customize everything that is part of this JSON data. So write the name, whatever, but especially the population here, I can select the culture that I want to be part of the region. I can decide of the environment, and yeah, especially here I can paint tiles. So for example, if I want to paint a road, I can just do something like this. If I want to have ponds like this, river, I can paint a river. So you see that it also generates automatically like river shoals on the sides of on each side of the water. Rocks, if I want to have rocks, vegetation, small vegetation, building, things like that. And also I can generate things the way things are generated in random regions. For example, I can put some ponds. So this is using noise JS, I think, simplex noise, like it's a noise library. I can put some random rivers like this. And also I can generate random roads. And I can, of course, continue to edit the things I want to change or things like that. So I can save. And when I save, let's say I want to save here, I go to the console here, and you see here, I have the object, and I can simply copy the object and then save it as a JSON data like this. Right, you can see the object here is the same. Okay, or maybe I can load a file. So for example, here I can load, wait, actually, yeah, maybe I want to show you another region that I've made. That is just an example once again, the Maktesh Ramon. All right, so what is the Maktesh Ramon? Well, this is kind of like a desert valley, something like that. So I can load this region here. Wait, what is the index? I forgot. Maktesh Ramon, the index is 67, 9, 10. Okay. All right, so I can load this file, and here we are. And then I can edit this region. And in the future, I want to include more features for this region editor, like the ability to customize groups, to put NPCs, to put special buildings, really everything. Maybe quests, things like that. Okay, so yeah, I think it's going to be quite good with this. Maktash Rahman, right? Uh, right. Okay. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Um, I've also tried to optimize the game a little bit. So, for example, when the world map is open, I don't display the game map because it facilitates the loading of this world map here. Uh, and yeah, same thing. For example, if I want to equip skills to one of my adventures, I can go to the tab skill here. I have kind of like reworked the interface, the UI. So I can select a skill here, and then I can move it to one of the slots. And there we are. And then we have the active skill that is active here, is displayed on this bar. So nowadays, I'm trying to work on a skill system because skills, they don't do anything yet. I want the skills to be mostly powers, like to be triggered when you do something, when you walk somewhere, when something happens. For example, when you explore a map or something like that. Talking of exploration, let's move to another region. Let's say a plane here in Caucasus. Something that I've added recently is this exploration progress. So, you have 50 by 50 cells in a region all the time, but there is a random number that is deduced. I mean, so it's 2,500 cells in total, but it is reduced by a number, a random number between like about 1,000. Um, And basically, this progress here represents the exploration progress that you do on the map. So the more you explore cells, the more this exploration progress is going to grow and eventually you will reach 100% before you would have explored the whole map. Um, so let's say here we are approaching 100%. Okay, and you can see here, once we have reached 100%, the whole map has been revealed, exploration progress complete, region fully mapped. So I think this is going to be also a nice mechanic to play with to kind of like motivate players to explore. And of course, you would have skills that would reduce this total number, that would do things maybe once you reach a certain threshold, things like that. Yeah, because once again, I want the game to be heavily focused on exploration. Like you explore the map and then you have things that happen and you make choices, you know, you meet groups, things like that. Um, I wanted to talk about something, but I think I forgot. Um, Exploration. Oh yeah, skills. Okay, how things are. So yeah, I've been thinking about the skill systems for a long time. For me, it's very difficult to think about an interesting and satisfying skill system because as of now, you play as a group and your adventures are kind of like your items, right? And yeah, very similarly to kind of like an ARPG where you can equip items to your class, for your class, right? Things like that. And then in passive exile, for example, you can directly put skill gems onto your items. So here it's very similar. It works in a similar way. But for the skill tree, the skill progression system, I want to show you. So you see here, okay, let's remove this skill. I have Echevin, which has the ledger keeping skill. It's there. I have the Savoyan, he has the mercenarism skill there. Narentin has piracy, and Dominican Nam has prey. So these skills, they are stored in the backpack, but they are not, they are not active, right? In order to have an active skill, I have to put it in my adventure like this, in one of the adventure slots that fits the type of the skill. Now, once a skill is equipped and is part of the group, it's displayed here. And when you level up, so here I'm going to trigger the level up event, you are proposed with a choice of skills that are new, that are skills that you don't have yet, whether they are from your backpack or from your adventures, or equipped in your adventures. So these skills, they are kind of randomly selected, but they also depend on the skills that are equipped on your adventures. All right. For example, here on my Dominican Nam, I have Prey, and Prey has adjacent skills. We can see Anthem, Hymn, and Ceremony. And you can see that in the selection of skills that I have here, well, Ceremony is one of the available skills that I can pick because Ceremony is adjacent, it's connected to the skill Pray. And so there is a chance that this skill is going to be proposed in this selection. All right. So how it works, I'm going to show you the skill tree. Basically here you have all the skills. I've already shown that before, but now it has more like a purpose. And it shows where the skills are and to what other skills they are connected to. Connected, it means adjacent, right? So for example here, Contrapposto is connected to only one skill, Stunt, right? Build is connected to Hone and Advanced Building. Okay, so for example, if you have Build in your as an equipped skill, it doesn't work. Okay, it works. There is a chance that you can receive, when you level up, Advanced Building and Hone as proposed skills. So let's try. I can reroll. And again, oh, there it is, Hone. Okay. So you see, that's how the skill progression system would work. And the way these skills are organized, they are organized by type and by theme in this skill tree. In the same vein as, like, yeah, for example, for Path of Exile, in Path of Exile you have like the archery area, you have the melee mace area, you have the curse magic curses area in the passive skill tree, things like this. So I want it to be a little bit similar with this here. You see, for example, here at the top, you have the noble skills, like justice, harem, slavery, mercantilism, wealth, and they don't have to be like of the noble. They don't have to be of the noble type, but they have to be like kind of like connected to this theme. And then here you have more like the soldier skills, polearm mastery, strength, mounted charge, mercenarism, things like that. Here you have more like exploration skills, like about walking, camping, exploring, things like this, questing, etc., etc. Here you have the outlaw, stealth for themed area here. Here you have like the resource. So basically, resource skills, cultivate, taxonomy, herbalism, gather resource. So it's more like commoner skills, intellectual, religious, and here it's more like intellectual again. Yeah, intellectual in this area here. So basically, I can show you a picture that I have done that represents kind of like what I mean by the skills and by the types that I have in the game. And so once again, I was very influenced by a Path of Exile video in order to do this chart here. So this gives you like an idea of what types are, what they represent, and what primary attributes they are associated to. All right. So for example, the novel, right? They are kind of like in between. The novels are in between education and strength. So it shows where if you look at an adventure, so here you have the intellectual type. So it's everything that is kind of like about education, this kind of thing that kind of like helps me to build around what I have for my game. Um, right? Here you have the type slaves. So I want the slaves to be more about like inventory bonus, free actions, things that don't cost food, unarmed, unarmed attack type, things like that. Um, the commoner skill, commoner adventures, they would have more effect about resources, about construction, about basic activities like this, crafting stuff. Yeah, basically that's how it's organized, and I think it's very important to have something that is uh, clear and organized, something that you are able to organize as a chart that can be represented and that makes sense, right? Uh, yeah. All right. So I think that's it for this video. I hope that I hope it was clear. Thank you guys, and see you for the next one.